power buttons. There's just something about these that's so awesome. But before we just figure that's the case, we really should look into the history of power buttons on personal computers. Of course, that would all start with very early personal computers, which were not really standardized in any way at all, and were just more trouble than they were worth, in which case power buttons were anything the manufacturer thought was worth putting on there, or non-existent whatsoever. But that's inefficient, because the machine would then be on constantly so long as it was plugged into an AC outlet. I suppose in the modern sense it would all start with the IBM personal computer 5150, and this computer, as seen in a stock image that isn't mine, is the first PC in the sense of the word as we would use it today to have a power button, although it wasn't a button. It was actually a red switch on the side near the rear of the case, which you would flick between an on and off position. On denoting the system would be on, and off noting that the system would be off, unless a technician got bored and decided to mount the switch backwards for some reason, which never happened. It wasn't long before everybody decided to copy this rather boring and clumsy machine and make better versions of it. But the other thing that they wanted to focus on was to cut down the cost. Therefore, it seemed to stand to reason that the bulky red, flickable power switch was an unneeded cost in the manufacturing of such a machine. Therefore, the clone manufacturers found the use of the standard mechanical switches, the push-button type, with a square neck on it, was quite favourable for this practice. Installed by two screws into almost any computer case, these switches would allow a person to turn on or off their computer to their heart's content, even at times that they weren't supposed to, such as after the household had gone to sleep and the noises of the system would wake them up, or to turn the machine off when drive operations were being carried out and it would corrupt the files. Of course, the button was rather simple. It was a mechanical switch, an electric switch, which has 4 terminals on the bottom in most cases. It isn't very well known today that the older switches carried mains electricity from the PC's power supply to the switch, both the live and neutral wire, directly from the power input connector, before sending it back to the power supply and connecting to the PCB inside, where it would run the switch mode supply and then power on the components inside your machine. Some of them even had an output socket on the back, which was used for powering the display, which you will never see in this day and age. Over time, power supply technology changed, and modern switch mode supplies use a soft power on switch, most of the circuitry for which is located on the motherboard. These switches are controlled by only 2 wires, which plug into a header on the motherboard, and it is signalled by connecting the green PS on line on the power supply's main connector to a ground line, which will signal to the circuitry inside the power supply that it is time to supply power to the board. One can, of course, just connect a switch across these 2 lines and force the power supply on, and some of the very last systems to use mechanical switches of the old type would have used this actual system, only with an older style AT connector on the power supply, and the PS on and a ground line coming out to an older style switch with only 2 terminals connected. I don't know what it is about the power switch, maybe it's just that it says power, but there's really a thing about our PC enthusiast, our inner enthusiast in this whole thing. How could we ever get by without the power button? And why are they not around in the same way today? There's just something there, and this need for the button has never gone away, which is probably why some of the better cases today still have a button which makes a resounding click, instead of the smaller tactile dome switches that seem to be more common in this day and age. Want more about power buttons and other redundant crap that really is an idiotic level? Then how about pressing some mindless buttons and sending me all of your money? Because I really like lots of money and lots of stupid numbers that don't really mean that much.
Oh,
because,
okay.
hey, why not?
Obviously we are.
Oh, and I've got loads more stuff, so go and check that out too. And shameless self-advertising, etc., etc. Is my voice boring enough? Did you even make it this far into the video? Fuck me, has it come down to that? Really? Good God, I can't stand for that. I guess that means I gotta come back and put shit right myself. Never leave shit to the rest of the world, because they're just gonna let you down. So that does it now. I'm gonna be back real soon. And I'll be back with a vengeance and software for the first thing. And yeah, I'm back on my feet, so you ain't gonna stop me in a hurry. I sure up at my treason, and if you fucking sat through that, then you've won a bit of more respect on this day. I've got a long ass update video, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload that as unlisted, and I'm just going to leave a link to it in the description. It's really fucking long, and yeah, I explained quite a lot of shit in it. Might be a bit outdated now. When did I film it? I can't remember. Will I watch through it and make sure it's adequate, and if it's not, I'll do it again. And then I'll stick it up as unlisted and link to it in the description. And then if you're interested in, you know, what the current status of things is, then you can check it out. Otherwise, hopefully, I should be back in action in a few fucking days, unless the weather keeps being too hot for me to work on stuff. But for now, yeah, certainly looks like we're back in fucking business. So let's get let's get on with this. You know, I'm not going to say much, but was the 24th of August? Well, I'm not really going to go into it, but 24th of August 2015, now, why would that be a significant date? Well, 24th of August, more specific. I don't know. I can't figure that out. But you'd think somebody who was really into computers and, you know, really knew their stuff about old machines and could quite easily put a video together in 5-10 minutes because they have no obligation to put the effort in, obviously, then you would think they might focus on something a bit more. So I'm sure there's something significant about that date, and I just can't for the life of me think of what it is. I wonder if anybody will get this, because that'll be interesting. Oh, and there's a couple of last notes. Firstly, thanks to everybody who commented on my last update video. That was really cool. Glad to know I got people's support. That's always nice to know. Secondly, this video that you're watching now, the first part of it, it's a parody. So, yeah, can't really do shit. I can pretty much do whatever the fuck I want because it's a parody video. And hey, I'm not making money off of Creative Commons stuff like everyone else. That's not used in the article anymore, but it used to be the main image for the article. I've known this for years. That's bullshit. You know, I honestly do think that's fucking a bit crooked, but whatever. I'm probably going to lose subscribers over this or some shit, but hey, see if I give a shit. I don't make money off of this. I can't believe people make money off of that. If I had any faith left in humanity, I would have lost it today. I nearly smashed something over that. That's disgraceful. You know, sign me up for fucking partnership. I'll be a fucking millionaire in no time. I've just made a fucking multi-thousand hit fucking video in the space of 5 fucking minutes or whatever. Yeah, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind when it's, you know, a smaller fucking channel. It's some guy who's just filming it on his fucking cell phone. I don't expect great production quality out of that. And those people can still make good stuff. You know, that's fine. I mean, pick any channel. There's plenty of channels. Look at some of the people who I'm subscribed to or subscribe to me. You know, they seem to manage alright and usually don't have as good of equipment as channels like the one I've been parodying. So yeah, I found that pretty disgraceful. So now I'm going to try and push even harder to get my new video done, but I'm not going to rush it. And hopefully we can get back on track. But that's for the update video. I'll explain the status of things more in that than I'm really willing to here. So, I'm High Treason, thanks for watching, and I should see you again in the near future. Now I'm going to go to sleep, I think, because I'm absolutely fucking knackered.